In the work that I do as a meditation teacher and counselor, whether it's one on one or groups, face to face, online, or whether it's in the videos, I try to offer resources, coping strategies, skills, practices that people can use that they can access, that are not too complicated, that can involve simple, easy, practical steps that anyone can do. So I've got something today that I want to offer, and we'll refer to it as Let It Rain. So RAIN is an acronym, and it came from originally a meditation teacher named Michelle McDonald. And then it's been popularized by another meditation teacher, Tara Brach, who is excellent. But it's an acronym and a practice that I use a lot because it's easy to remember and it's easy to practice. Isn't that what we all want, right? So let's go through each step. And the reason these can be helpful is that I think all of us have a tendency to a lot of times get lost in spiraling thoughts. We create stories about how life is. We sometimes try to control situations, which of course is hopeless and ridiculous, but we do it, right? uh, we tend to get into reactivity in situations. And we then sometimes get caught up in a lot of self judgment, which of course is really a slippery slope and a rabbit hole that when we get caught in it, it's a difficult place to be. So RAIN, let's go through each step one by one. So the R in RAIN stands for recognize. And this is basic mindfulness. It's asking ourselves, what's going on? What's happening? It's checking in. What am I aware of? And of course, one great way to do that is just to pause, breathe. We call it the sacred breath, where we can check into our body. Our body is a messenger that'll tell us a lot. Perhaps we notice tightness or tension, which we might identify as anxiety or anger, or maybe a heaviness or a dullness that could be depression, loneliness. So by doing that, we pause and go, all right, what am I feeling in my body? What's happening right now? It's this gentle, simple curiosity, opening our awareness into what's happening. And that's what really mindfulness is. It's that noticing present moment experience with a curiosity and with a certain kindness and lack of judgment. Oh, so this is what's going on. Recognize, right? Then the next thing is allow. That's the A. So R, recognize, A is allow, or certainly accept. But allow I like a little bit better because what we're doing is just saying, you know what, this is what's happening, and I'm just going to let it be the way it is. I'm not going to try to fix it. I'm not going to suppress it, push it away. I'm just going to recognize this is what's happening. And yes, I can be with this. I can open to this, even this. And maybe it's really uncomfortable, but it's saying, you know, maybe I can sit with this rather than doing something else which doesn't really work. What's happening inside me right now, and can I be with it? That's the R and the A. And then the I is investigate. Okay? So this is not, this is not Sherlock Holmes. We're not trying to solve a math problem. We're simply sort of peering into this experience and go, what's really going on? Because the reality is, we'll interpret it and we'll tell ourselves a story. So a great way to investigate the experience in the story is to say, is this true? Is this really going? Is this really what's happening? You know, is this really true what I'm telling myself? And another way of investigating is to really peer into the body and ask, how am I experiencing this in my body right now? taking some time, all the time we need to kind of hang out with the sensations in the body, whether they're comfortable or not, and really exploring and noticing how things shift and change. One of the realities is that nothing is fixed and permanent. And if we can allow something to be there and feel into it and investigate, perhaps we can notice that it'll shift and change. We can work with perhaps shifting our perception of a situation, noting and tracking what's going on and being with it. This is very, very profound practice. I'm not saying it's easy. It requires some willingness. It may require some courage to hang out with something that's kind of uncomfortable, to hang out with a story in our head which is not pretty in all, especially if it's self judgment, to pause and look at that and ask ourselves if that's true. And some people might go a little deeper. There's that expression you've probably heard, peeling the onion. Maybe just ask ourselves, all right, this anger I'm feeling right now, the story I'm telling myself, maybe somebody said something to me and I took it personally. It's to drop a little bit lower and say, what's underneath this? Is there an insecurity? Is there a fear? Is there a deep sadness? Is there a whole maybe history of doing this that I can kind of feel into and explore and notice? So it's really important when you do this practice to kind of feel the edge, right? And if it starts feeling like it's too much, back off. But it's an opportunity to explore and get a deeper understanding of what's happening rather than just go on automatic pilot and react the way we always react and then judge ourselves if it turns out that reaction is unskillful. So recognize, allow, or accept, and investigate. And the last one is the N, which traditionally was taught as non-identification. And this one is really, the first three take more of an intention and an action. This is simply a recognition that none of this stuff is really us. It's not who we are. The thoughts, the sensations, yeah, we feel them in our body, but they're not an intrinsic part of who we are. That anger, we say, it's my anger or I'm angry, but the reality is we're just experiencing something. We're experiencing anger, and it's a passing phenomenon. It comes and goes, comes and goes. So it's recognized. I was doing a group one time, and one of the young men we were talking about this, and he said, let me ask you, is that the difference between saying I'm an angry person and saying I'm experiencing anger? Cha-ching, he nailed it. That was it. I wanted to give him a high five. It's like, yeah, that's what it really is. It's just we're having an experience and it's going to pass. Okay, rather than getting all wrapped up and going, oh, I can't help myself. I'm just an angry person and I'm awful. And here we are down the rabbit hole again. So the other way that N has often been used or applied, you might see this, I've seen it recently, is nurturing. So after we recognize, allow, and investigate, how can we nurture ourselves? We're really talking about self-care here. What do I need right now? Maybe this is upsetting, disturbing, difficult. So we ask ourselves, what do I need right now for balance? What can I do right now to take care of myself? And it may be different in different situations. At one time, it might be moving our body. You know what? What I really need to do is get out of the house and go for a walk and walk real fast and swing my arms. And then on another occasion, it's, I need to take a nap. I just need to lie down. So, one time it might be, I need to go talk to somebody, maybe make a phone call or reach out. Another time it might be, I need some time by myself. I need to get away from others, have some alone time just for myself. See? And of course, it's different for different people. So what might work for you might not work for me. See? So that's where the intuition comes in. And again, it's this checking in, like, what do I need right now? So that's nurturing. So either way, recognize, allow, investigate, and we can both not identify and do the nurturing. So I really invite you to maybe think about this a little bit, explore it. You might write a little, take a 3x5 card and write RAIN and stick it on in your car or on your mirror or around. And when you're struggling, just see if you can walk through that practice. You might find it very helpful. And of course, if you like this, please feel free to like this channel and subscribe and check out some of the other videos. Some of them are very short, some of them are longer. So see you next time.